I know you from the IT crowd.
Okay.
Now, do you say the IT crowd as opposed to the IT crowd, or is it designed to be both?
I think either are acceptable pronunciations. I think Graham sanctioned both.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
okay. Well, that's good. So what I want to start off with, I know you're anxious to have us talk about your film, but I'd like to at least...
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm happy to talk about other things.
Oh, there you go. Well, aren't you accommodating? So just because that's how I know you, I wanted to get a sense of the kind of the landscape, the comic landscape that a show like the IT crowd or the IT crowd in Britain. I mean, where did it fit? How popular or unpopular was it for the high society set or for the low set? I mean, tell me about its appeal.
Well, Graham had co-written a show before called Father Ted, which was extremely popular. So he's a well-known writer, I'd say, in Britain and Ireland. And I mean, I don't know. I think it's relatively popular. It would sound, a bit odd to go, it's wildly popular. That would, it's not Avatar. It's not that level.
Few things are, though.
No. Other than, no, nothing. Literally nothing is Avatar. So, in terms of high society, I don't know that it's the sitcom of choice for dukes, but I don't know. I don't know what I guess it's called the demographic is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not ordinarily employed in the sales division of any organisation. It's not an area in which I flourish.
I see, but I'm trying to get the sense of this is now. We have real popular comedies that are considered kind of lowbrow in this country, and then they're kind of highbrow. And I'm just wondering,
what's the lowbrow ones?
Well, like maybe Three's Company or something back in the day.
Yeah. I never saw Three's Company.
So not very helpful,
no,
that.
But I can imagine it already, and it does seem an amusing premise. The idea of three people keeping each other company is amusing. I don't exactly know. I suppose it's probably more on the cult side of thing than a big mainstream kind of hit.
That's what I was trying to get at. Is this Benny
cult
Hill?
Is a polite way of saying unpopular. But yeah, so I wouldn't say it's Benny Hill. I mean, Benny Hill's not something I'm really aware of. It wasn't really on at any stage during my conscious existence, and I haven't really remedied that in my life.
Okay, so let's. How would you position it? To me, the funniest thing I've ever seen, my favorite comedy series of all time, is the Blackadder series.
Okay.
Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah,
how does that? Is that in your wheelhouse in terms of comedy?
Yeah. No, I mean he's amazing. Rowan Atkinson is it's brilliant.
Okay, and Fry and Laurie. I'm trying to think. These are the guys that have sort of made it across the water into America.
Well, deservedly, they're very good. I mean, I have no right to even be talking about them. Yeah, I mean, Fry and Laurie sketch show is brilliant, and they're both very good. Yeah.
Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to...
I can see no connection between them and me. I mean, there's no.
You don't.
I mean, they're excellent, and I'm not.
No, but see, to us...
Except by contrast, I mean, we can talk about them. On the one hand, these very talented people. On the other hand, you. We could discuss it in those terms.
Well, let me see. And for us, on this side of the Atlantic, you're all British. See, so there's that common denominator.
Sure, yes. But even within as narrow a band as Britishness, there are, varying levels of ability.
And let me guess, you're at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm middling to bottom. I mean, it depends.
Good.
I mean,
Okay, so now I want to ask you about. Well, I mean, my experience of the IT crowd was similar to my experience with the Red Dwarf series.
Okay.
I happened by chance upon it as I'm channel surfing, and the first time I saw Red Dwarf, I thought it was the stupidest damn thing I'd ever seen.
Okay.
And the second time, I thought, well, it's mildly funny. And by the fourth or fifth time, I was hooked. I had the identical experience with the IT crowd.
Yeah, well, a lot of people remain on stage 1 and 2 with most things that I am involved with. But yes, I mean, it's not. It doesn't exist in a natural world. It's heightened. It's not documentary style or anything. It's, it is silly, and Graham, the writer, likes silly things.
And do you feel does it match your comic sensibility?
I mean, my natural bearing generally depresses people, and is depressing. I mean, it is a depressing bearing to have. Whereas Graham's a very joyous person and generally life-affirming. Whereas generally people want to open a vein after they are in my company for even a short period of time.
I just in this short interview, I'm getting that sense.
Yeah, I can see you wilting and reassessing your life priorities.
So the one thing that as I was doing a little background research on you, I was struck by the fact that apparently we tried to do an American version of the IT crowd or the IT crowd, and it starred someone who actually used to work in this very newsroom. Joel McHale.
Oh, I did not know. Well, I knew he was from Seattle.
Yeah.
I did know that.
He actually interned here at Cairo Radio. What was that like, and why did it apparently flop? I never heard of it.
Sure, yeah. Well...
Was it Joel's fault?
I mean, that's what the received wisdom is. It was... Well, weirdly, it was... commissioned. That was the bizarre thing, but then the head of NBC left, I think. So there was a terrifying period when it felt like it might actually happen, and I might have to work for a period of time, which was not a welcome thought. I don't really know how it happened. I guess things. Was
it designed to be like an American?
To be a flop?
Yeah, well, with you involved, of course, right? No, but I mean,
failing was in its DNA.
Was it designed to be like the American version of The Office, which was a unbelievably successful?
I'm sure they intended it to be successful. I think if they could have made it another Cheers, I'm sure
they would have been all for it.
That would have been a good idea. Let's make this like Taxi.
The idea was that we just add one American. Because you were still in the cast.
I was in it, and the rest of the cast were American.
Oh, so, wow! Yeah. So would you have been like the odd man out? Was that the idea, or?
Yeah, I'm sort of the odd man out in the English one as well, but I suppose so. It's so mathematically impossible to imagine a pilot getting picked up. It seems so rare that I wasn't, troubling myself with thinking of what I'd do in the 7th season.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought it would be a short tenure.
Very good.
And I was correct.
Well, yes, indeed. And did you get to know Joel much at all, or?
Yeah, I cleaned for him for a while, and not like Arnold Schwarzenegger clean. I actually did clean for him. And I directed an episode of Community recently.
Oh, you did?
And that was through Joel. So, we've kept in touch. I'm fully prepared to continue to ride on his coattails whenever it's possible. And,
That's fantastic. Now, I also read, we're huge Daily Show fans here, that you actually are a friend and worked with John Oliver.
Yeah, a lot of people I work with are much more talented than me and go on to success. And I like to keep things real by middling and, just bumbling along to indifference. And so, John's very good. He's stolen a lot of stuff from me. He knows that. He's aware of it. He doesn't broadcast that. But essentially, he is much like a vampire, hollowed me out and taken what I have.
So there's a little chance you'll ever end up on The Daily Show, because they'll have seen all the material from Oliver that he stole.
Exactly. He wouldn't do that. He's not a generous man. Again, he doesn't admit that publicly, but he's very mean-spirited and heartless. Okay,
the last kind of comic reference I want to make is that when I saw you, you reminded me of, and I don't know if you get this all the time or never, Jermaine Clement from the Flight of the Conchords.
Right. I've had that once.
Okay.
Which is now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll take full credit.
But that's fine.
You guys could play twins.
Well, only. I'd have to think of the biological circumstances that could have arisen for us to be twins, and it seems to me quite complex.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, you'd need a couple of donors for that to have worked out. But yeah, I mean, he's great, and I'm sure he'd be very insulted by the comparison.
No doubt, but somebody has to be the younger brother.
Sure, yeah, someone has to be the worst version of you.
Well, this has been great, but I know you're really here in Seattle, not to
Yeah.
talk to me about Joel McHale,
Sure.
but really to talk about this new movie you made called Submarine. And since I haven't seen a frame of it, you
Yeah.
can tell me whatever you want to about it, and I won't be able
this
to
is,
object.
You know, probably why you're sounding so enthusiastic. I think if you'd seen it, you'd feel, you know, somewhat more depressed. You know, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm terrible at talking stuff up, as you know, despite this kind of energetic vibe that's no doubt coming across to your listeners and to have whoever's watching this. I don't know. Maybe this is for, you know, personal interning purposes, or just, you know. But it's a comedy about a 15-year-old boy who is trying to help his parents during a difficult period in their marriage, and he has his first relationship and is bad at both of them.
And is it one of those, is it the kind of humor that you cringe at because it's so embarrassing? Because that's an awfully awkward age.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a particularly cringy thing. You know, it's not like
Okay.
one of those things where someone does something, then you cut round to 47 reaction shots of people going, ooh, which happens a lot. Hopefully it's sort of quite, you know, the characters are treated with affection and not seen as, you know, just ludicrous stooges. And yeah. I mean, what I would say is that if you like Avatar, you will definitely like this. So, in terms of an overlap,
Is it in
I-
3D, maybe?
well, I simply encourage everyone who's seen Avatar to see this as the companion piece it was intended to be.
I see.
So,
That's
in fact, I don't think your enjoyment of Avatar will be complete until you have seen this. So, effectively, yeah, you have to be compelled to at least. I mean, you don't have to see it. I mean, I'd be happy just for people to purchase tickets and not see it.
Right.
I mean, financially, it's the same to me. So, it's really, yeah. I mean, we could just do a collection and then, you know, not even have to run it.
So, you're obviously a master of modesty. Has this already been released in the UK?
Yeah, it has.
And
You know,
did it
that's why
flop?
we have the prints.
Available?
You know, now they're free, so we can show them here. I mean, surprisingly, to me at least, it didn't. It did well, I'd say. That's about as positive as I can state it. But yeah, the grown-ups involved were happy.